Jer si milostivi čovekoljubi Bog i tebi slavu uznosimo, Otcu i Sinu i Svetome Duhu, sada i uvek i u vekove vekova.
In a world of shadows and secrets untold, where primeval stories make the brave go cold, mighty gods on high and realms below, whispers of legends that shape each soul. And nightmarish dreams, cryptids lurking, nothing's as it seems, giants walking, angels and demons fight, only truth can bring the light. Through the echoes of time, the tales unfold, mysteries arise as the prophecies are foretold, from valiant knights to buried treasure, this podcast brings nothing but pleasure. Welcome to myths, mysteries and majesty. Study with us, and don't be a travesty. Theology, mythology, fantasy, and horror. Dungeons and dragons, Skyrim and Mordor. And Mordor, the powers haunt the evening. In gothic castles where they're screaming. Wizards cast spells in their towers tonight, exploiting enigmas hidden from our sight. Archaeologists make excavations deep of the ancient tombs where pharaohs sleep. In the dust of ages we chronicles keep, storytelling's power of monsters that creep. Myths, mysteries and majesty is the place for you to learn about this haunted space. From scholarship to manuscripts of old, unlock the secrets of wisdom and gold. And Mordor, and Mordor, and Mordor, and Mordor.
Blessed evening and welcome to the latest episode on Myths, Mysteries, and Majesty. I'm so grateful to welcome my friend and brother in Christ, PJ, who will help us dissect the latest 4 AAA games. Namely, I've been carefully selecting which games that came out in 2025 were worthy dedicating time to, and I selected these following 4 titles: Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon, then Doom: The Dark Ages, Elden Ring DLC Nightreign, and the DLC that belongs to Lies of P. So most of these games, except Doom, are RPG games because this is something that PJ and I love the most. I also like shooting games, probably some other genres as well. But as I'm getting older, I'm probably losing patience with dedicating a whole summer to one single title and doing all these quests and spending so much time, which I think is normal. PG, when it comes to your favorite genres and styles of gaming, besides RPG games and fantasy role-play games, what do you like playing?
I do not like sports games, so that's always like a pass. I enjoy shooting games. I just am really bad at them. I kind of like the Diablo style RPGs. I mean, it's an RPG, but it's less about character leveling and more about loot. So I enjoy that. And if I had to choose between like a Doom shooter and then like a dungeon hack and slash through, I'm gonna pick the hack and slash.
Yeah, and is it also that camera plays a certain role in the preference of your game? Do you like that bird's eye view perspective where the characters are small, or you also don't mind playing games like Elden Ring or Souls games or like Witcher where like you see the whole dude?
Yeah, so I don't have a perspective. Sometimes like I'll have to like I enjoy like first person games as well, like Skyrim's first person. I play Dead Side and stuff like that are first person. But I have astigmatism and a cataract, and it gets to bothering me with like real quick motion. So sometimes I have to back out of those first persons and play one of those far away third persons where it's not so detrimental to my eyes.
Yeah, I have a friend that I don't know now, but when we were kids, and he bought his first computer, and we came to play something like Doom game. It wasn't necessarily a Doom, maybe it was. I don't remember. This was like probably late 90s, something like that. And this was his first time dealing with a 3D game where you're like shooting, and he soon started having headaches. He was like, he had to go lay down. He was like, I can't play a game like this. I mean, now he probably doesn't play at all, but I would be curious to see if he, if he was able over time to deal with that. Or for some people, it could be something with vision, with eyes, or like something, that can cause a headache. So yeah, I
Yeah,
think also it has to do with the level of
the blue
you
light
know
and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, the blue light, and also the level or the quality of the screen,
Oh,
and the
for sure.
monitor
Refresh rate and
settings.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes, so I remember when we were kids with those CRT monitors that are like huge like this, you can like hurt someone seriously with those monitors. Man, they were like they were like flickering in front of your eyes, like even the best ones. So I'm
Yep.
like, you don't have to have the most expensive technology now in 2025, but it's still way better than in the 90s.
Yeah. No, I literally just bought a gaming monitor for like I have a gaming laptop. Um, I'm on my son's computer, but I have a gaming laptop, but it's like a 15 inch, and now I'm half blind. I'm 44, right? So it's like I need something a little bigger. So like I bought a 24 inch, but it was on clearance, and it was like I think it's got 180 refresh rate, or sorry, 240 refresh rate
Oh
and
yeah.
1 millisecond response. It was on sale for like $140. So it's
Man,
like,
that's nothing. So those type of screens, they're very good for shooting games, especially for people who are competitive, where every millisecond matters. To me, doesn't matter because I bought Samsung Odyssey 7, I think, because it's good for gaming, but also for movies, and it has good HDR. It took me a while to research to get a good screen, but yeah, I think it is very important. Okay, so when it comes to the first title, I was very excited about this game. I know it has magic, and this is a Christian channel. We always try, whenever we cover games, we try to, yes, enjoy the soundtrack, the graphics, the design, the world building, the characters, but also we cover the spiritual elements of the games, and try to compare them with the Bible the best as we can. So this may not be something that Christian parents would necessarily love or appreciate, but it doesn't mean that the game in itself is evil. So again, we'll be spending 25 to 30 minutes per game. So let's start with analyzing the first title, Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. I skipped the intro. I wanted to like, start like 5 10 minutes later.
powerful imagery.
Man, I'm enjoying. I'm getting these almost goosebumps and vibes. Like I want to be a knight. I want to be in a castle. I will lower the volume of the game so that when we talk, we can be heard.
Niflheim, Muspelheim, Idis, Overfäller, Linie, Jotunske, Baesheim, Dino, Gaga, Niflheim, Muspelheim, Idis, Overfäller, Linie, Jotunske, Baesheim, Dino, Gaga, Niflheim, Muspelheim.
Okay, so he's most probably summoning a deity.
Well, I guess
I mean,
that's the dead king.
yeah, I think he's summoning like a deity or some, power, help or magical powers from a deity to resurrect the king.
Awaken me.
And it's so funny how everything revolves around the blood, just like in the Bible, especially in the Old
Yeah.
Testament. Life
Well,
is in the blood.
Yeah, and I couldn't help but find that that intro. It said the King of Kings can finally enjoy his rest, and I was like, well, the King of Kings is at the right hand of the throne, and
He's
his
alive.
work is- yeah.
I am his hunger, the craving. for
Okay, I'm
what
gonna
is
fast forward a
beyond
little bit.
reach.
Ooh, these are like some underground passages, like catacombs.
It's just something about just going through dungeons that I just love. I love like the time they take, and obviously this doesn't make sense. Like nobody's wasting their time to build all this stuff just to put like a statue in this room, But I don't know. It's just something nostalgic about it to me that I just love it.
Try not to step in the array. It's advanced magic, very fragile. Quite the contrary. This place is perfect. I've read that the soil of the south is steeped with the type of energy I require. But what I've encountered here surpasses all my expectations. I have the ideal conditions and the perfect subjects. I'm doing everything right.
Did you find out what's been happening out there? Great. A necromancer. Just what we needed. It wasn't
It's
the
always
giant
about
from
those
the legends,
bloody
was it?
necromancers. Like every of the
Good thing you got rid of him
the
then.
old RPG
We already
games,
have the Dal
it
Riata
has to deal with
almost on our
necromancy.
doorstep. We don't need an army of the undead to boot. You did well. Maybe it's not so bad having you here.
Yeah, do you remember to join these old RPG games when you found special equipment, like a special sword or armor, and you're like, yeah, like I can now not unlock necessarily, but you can now deal with other quests, and you feel more confident, like I'm gonna beat him up and get even more money and more treasure and more better equipment. It's like it's like a circle that never stops.
Yep, I played World of Warcraft for like 10 years. I know all about that cycle.
Another mouth to feed. Teargas must have been
Only
on
10
if
years,
he thinks
come
I can
on.
feed everyone with a little he gives me. I'm serious. If we don't open the keep soon, we'll have to start eating rats. Not that I can't cook them in a way that makes you think it's chicken.
I like this kind of Scottish accent. It's like, ooh.
It's a good thing you didn't start with calm down, or I'd have shoved my cleaver up your arse. Yeah, I'm pissed off. Because our gracious sovereigns recently decided to let in a bunch of refugees from the villages. They say they're running from the weirdness, but who knows, really? So now I have even more hungry mouths to feed. And since the captain ordered the letdown of
Okay, so I like that he can wield, swords and blades and use magic. So it's not just magic. Like he can do both.
Yeah, and doesn't necessarily have to switch between them. They're both ready to use.
So from the very get-go, we can see that to the game designers, graphics was not number one concern. It's not bad.
No, it's very Skyrimish.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I was trying to remember. Some people are calling this game something like New Skyrim or like DLC or whatever. But so I think it could be also intentionally done with a little bit, you know, um, like intentionally done with the graphics that to remind the fans of the Skyrim of Oblivion,
Right,
and, you
right.
know, and from the whole franchise. It could be like, hey, we can do better, but also we don't want to make you buy like super modern computer if you don't have already one. You still enjoy gaming almost any computer you have that you bought in the last several years. Here's the game, enjoy it, and atmosphere is more important than graphics. So it's not a bad looking game. I'm just saying it's not like some top triple
Yeah,
like where you're like shocked when you see visual effects.
yeah, but you're right, and you almost minimize sales by pushing in-game graphics because those people, if they don't have that top-end gear, they can't play that. At least not efficiently.
Man, and in the last few years, like any good, not decent, but any good video card is like easily 1K up to 2K. Like it's insane. Now the amount of money you have to pay for a good GPU will be the price of the whole computers until only several years ago, before COVID.
I forgot what it was. Was it Radeon, AMD Radeon, that released like supposedly just a amazing graphic card for like $600? It was like on par with Nvidia's like one of their top chips.
Yeah, that's why I chose when I bought my gaming computer a couple of years ago. Um, I went with AMD processor and GPU for the first time. I've never regretted. But let's be honest, AMD cannot match, nor are they trying to match most expensive NVIDIA GPUs. They're trying to get there to the high middle class, but not the very top class where you have to shell out like 2,000 for a video card. They're not trying to go there.
You, who come from a time beyond, show yourself before me. It seems he speaks to me. Allow me to answer him. Welcome.
So one of the things about RPG games, I don't know about this one, but most of the time I would love their soundtrack. They'll be like very cool, like ethnic ambiental music with a lot of violins, with a lot of like those old-fashioned, instruments versus guitar and like whatever. It will be usually like something that would, unless there's an action scene, so then it goes like boom, 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 boom. It's preparing you to get, to deal with the enemy. But usually it's like very peaceful. That is like blending perfectly with the nature and with the background. Some of these games you just play, and when that tune, that music that you know well comes back, man, it brings so much nostalgia. And sometimes you just play to relax, not necessarily even about going through the quest.
Yeah, I 100% agree on that. Soundtracks can really make or break a game.
Yeah, like now when he's not fighting, again, the music is very, very peaceful. I'm surprised they didn't introduce any horse or any way of traveling. Maybe later.
say that. Someone comes, lights them in here, and then dies on our watch? People would be at my door with pitchforks.
Honestly, there are way less opponents than I would expect. Like some wandering mutants, zombies, monsters that are like here and there, like hiding behind these bridges or cliffs, or coming out of unexpected caves, holes. I would expect a little bit more enemies.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself. And I wonder if that's a setting, like easy, medium, hard spawns more kind of things.
Have you noticed runes are a big deal in those like almost
Let's
Nordic
see.
symbols? They're big in the game.
Ah, the raspberries.
Like check out his
We'll
body.
save those for
You know.
later.
Just reminds me of
Very
Leviticus.
precious.
When they say
Perfect
not to
for the
cut your
after
body in a
effects.
way, it's not necessarily saying against modern day tattoos, but the pagans would cut
Nutrition is
themselves in
key,
order to
my
attract
brave
and
friend.
appease their own gods,
I'll
right?
make
Right,
jam
right.
So
so
within the context, within the
delicious,
proper context,
it'll
when
knock your
you
boots
read the
off.
Bible, and when
Right.
you notice
You'll
something like
thank
this,
me
you're like,
later.
oh, are you
Wait
doing
and
this
see.
as an expression of art, or are you
Now,
doing this
it's time
because of
for
some
us to
spiritual
embark on
connotation?
this
And if
shared
it's spiritual
journey
connotation, which God are you
into the
serving?
self.
Right.
So if
See
you notice
you on the
something
other
like this, you're like already
side.
like, oh, like I know the background, I know the context.
Yeah. So I did something similar with Antediluvian, where there's different cultures in the world, but I tried to make them something you could relate to in modern times. So like Vikings and stuff like that. That they're not really Vikings, but they would portray that kind of aesthetic. Why was he slithering on the floor? That was really weird.
Yeah, it was. I didn't understand. And again, we're skipping a lot.
Yeah,
We don't
pretty
have
much.
time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he used one of those magics or something happened to him where he was sunk for a second, or if he was crawling. I don't know. Dude is naked now. That's fine.
I always thought it was weird that, like, in real life, this guy would have been walking around with a wagon behind him carrying this stuff, but he just carry like 800 pounds of gear.
But it's useful. Ooh, this is cool. Like an underwater world.
Oh, yeah, that is kind of cool. He literally went, and then now it's all dry. Ideas.
And this is one of the best things in games like this. When you do side quests and you unlock something completely unexpected, you're like, wow, like the very discovery, the very exploration of that certain land, fantasy land, that or the new dimension, it's a reward in itself. Plus all the cool weapons and armor you can get in places like that. You may not be able to unlock somewhere else.
So, if you were playing this game, are you one of those people that play to like 100% completion, or you just get through the end?
Neither or. I would the only I would try to like finish as many quests and those side quests as much. But I wouldn't kill myself to do any side quests. Like for example, in Witcher, I finished everything. But like when you go to those smaller towns and you go to the boards where they post, smaller assignments. Hey, I lost my cattle. Can you go find it? Like maybe not. Like I wouldn't do every side quest.
That's what I was thinking when that was my next question. How'd you do in The Witcher? That was
Yeah, I played Witcher before they released that huge upgrade with the new graphics and 4K support. But now I'm waiting for the new Witcher. I don't know if you. Well, yeah, I think I shared with you
yeah,
the trailer that came out.
yeah. We talked about it.
Looks amazing.
So, I see. I'm in the opposite camp. I think we've talked about this. It does look okay, but I don't know. I'm kind of salty about it, but like they took the most powerful being in that world and made her a witcher.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss Geralt both in the video game and in TV show when it comes to Henry.
Yeah, I think they canceled the whole show though, didn't they?
No, they canceled the Wheel of Time.
Okay, I thought. Well, I know that, and then I guess the new guy. I thought they only did one more season and then they canceled it, but I guess not.
Oh, I don't know about that. I know there'll be at least one more season with a new guy, but how many seasons will be after that, or if it will be canceled, I have no clue. I mean, if the numbers are low, you can count they'll cancel. Yeah, so far the opponents are not extremely difficult or scary. So I'm thinking what you said, maybe this guy who's playing, maybe he played it on like an easy level. Maybe not, but it's like so far half of the game is just empty and the opponents he's not like dying and trying to restart and do over again. It's like it doesn't seem too challenging so far.
Yeah, and then the enemies are kind of even position where you don't even necessarily have to fight them. Well, I guess you kind of did, but I don't know. It's kind of like an explorer game with action as a consequence rather than that's how you should navigate. And I'm not sure, maybe unlocking different skills, but like all his attacks are the same. It seems to be the same little spell over and over. It doesn't even have a different animation.
See, because we're fast forwarding, we don't know if it just looks like the same one. But we don't know if he's upgrading over time, if it gets stronger, maybe emits more light, more energy. We don't know.
Yeah, and is this like a bad guy? Like, I'm obviously a bad guy, but is this like a boss?
She's a bad lady.
Yeah,
Queen.
just annihilating because they're stuck on a wall.
Look at her head. It's still like when you have a chicken, the chicken is still running.
Still running, yeah.
Yeah, this game needs. I'm not being a hater. I'm not saying I don't like the game, but this game needs more patching, more work.
I agree. Yeah, you could probably still have a lot of fun with it for sure.
Yeah.
It's just missing the soft, subtle notes that make bigger games bigger games.
Oh yeah. And you know what? If this game is coming from an indie developer, we also have to be graceful because they're limited in budget. They don't have 200 people working on a game, So then, we have to be graceful. Also.
Oh, for sure. This is already better than a lot of major games that come out. It's just a little soft attention to detail that give it a little more credence.
Okay, I just googled and it says Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon was developed by a smaller independent game studio, and it's not backed by a major publisher. That's why they're very limited in how much they can invest. You know.
Well, I'm not hating. They've done. It's a fantastic looking game.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I just wish like what you said, it's a little bit more challenging and a little bit more polished. And I think within month, because it's a new game, within the month when they're still working and upgrading, they'll fix some of the things so it will be even more fun.
For sure. And again, we're skipping a ton of this. We don't know if settings have anything to do with it, but like visually and mechanically and all that, I love the way it works. I wish he would add a little more actions to their repertoire in attacking and stuff. But
sure.
That's a very minor pick, and if that's my problem with the game, we're doing all right. Like,
This is spooky, like you're visiting like an enchanted forest or something.
yeah, and I like how it's got the same kind of theme through the whole game, so it kind of fits the title. Like, I haven't seen any vivid colors or any nature settings. Everything's dark and grim. Every fog cast everywhere.
Yeah, since this is a small independent studio, I wonder how many people they have working on this. If it's like 3, 5, 7 people, then this is an enormous amount of work that will be split just on several people or few people. So the load and that burden upon them to even make this game, then just I would say congratulations and Godspeed. Like, I wish them all the best. And I bet it looks way nicer when you're actually playing the game than watching someone playing, Not to mention that I'm watching gameplays at 720p, but imagine in 2K or 4K. It must be even nice.
So there's 3 sources that say Questline Studio has anywhere from 2 to 10. Others say 41, and its highest is 64. So even with 64 employees, not all of them are developers, not all of them are, that's...
With people who are for cleaning, typing, administrative work, but just people who are working on the game, like visually, I doubt they have 40 or 60. Then that wouldn't be considered a small studio. Small studio would be like you, me, Sean, and maybe one more dude. That's like a small company. 40 people, that's not a small company.
No, 40 people is not a small company. But does that include like marketing and all of that stuff? They're not technically working on the game. They might, but either way, it's an awesome looking game. Looks fun.
Yeah, this is the new opponent.
Yeah. Red Cat. Oh, that's funny. That's actually a mythical.
Monster Blood. Strange Toe. These are some very unique items.
You might use that in some kind of brew or something. Some kind of potion. He's either resistant to the sword or resistant to the magic.
And he passed by that bear just like nothing.
You don't see me.
Okay, I think we can stop with the game so far. We usually cover even the ending, and that may be a big spoiler to many people. So I decided all 4 games for tonight not to cover until the very end, so that people who want to play, they're like, "Hey, this should be enough for me to see if I'm buying the game or not." Any concluding thoughts or summary within like 20 seconds about this game? How would you rate it, 1 to 10, and would you recommend it to people?
I would say it's a 7. I don't know if that could go higher or lower. We would just have to have a little playtime. But yeah, easily a 7. And knowing that that's just a tiny company that did that is just amazing. I'd play it.
Yeah, I think I would give something similar, and if I were them, I would gently encourage them to work on uh, the variety of the opponents, the way they will be more challenging, also their number, because they don't seem to be very often that you bump into them. I would just increase their number, maybe make weapons and magic a little bit more interesting, more creative, to have bigger variety. Like you mentioned Diablo, but so many RPG games have so many of those scrolls that you can like activate, and like fireball, this, that, teleport, levitate, whatever. Like, they can do so many things. Here we didn't see so much. Even with skipping, we still covered like easily up to the 60 or 70% of the game. We covered more than what's left, and we didn't see that much of a progress. So I would say, yeah, I would still recommend the game, but I wish by the end of the year they would work on it. Okay, so the next one is Doom: The Dark Ages. And did you hear those church bells? Imagine dealing with that boss. I don't know what he's waiting for, the player.
That's what I was wondering. Is he just checking them out, or
So in this latest Doom, you can actually fly on a dragon.
yeah. So it didn't turn out what I thought it was going to be, but it's definitely a Doom game for sure. I thought it was going to be a little less, I guess, sci-fi.
Yeah, it makes sense because we were thinking, oh, medieval times, like, you know, still, of course, sci-fi, but not sci-fi like this, like in the future on another planet that is like,
Right.
yeah, maybe we would expect more like, I don't know, Kingdom Come, like, but like with Doom style. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they didn't say medieval. They said Dark Ages, right? Isn't it Dark
Yeah,
Ages? So,
yeah.
but I guess I'd have liked to seen some hack and slash in here, other than the shield. But definitely hardcore. Definitely Doom.
See, this game is more challenging than Avalon, the previous one. He's already dying, it seems like.
Yeah. The first 20 minutes of the game, you're in over your head.
And of course, I'm not saying that in order for a game to be good, you have to have super difficult proponents. No, otherwise I would be loving Dark Souls games, and I don't. I'm just saying that, you know, when you make a game, how should I put it? When you make a game that is like a novel or a movie, it's balanced. That brings so much pleasure and joy. Than if it's too easy or too hard. But balance is crucial.
Yeah, right. If combat is involved in your game, the threat of possibly dying should have to be in that balance, right? So, like, if you're just lackadaisically walking through the game, just killing things because it's there, that's kind of takes the element away from the player agency of, oh my gosh, I might not make it through this level, away from you.
Mm.
To the diversion. My father will need help. Ensign, mobilize the Slayer's dragon. Mounting the Slayer's hut now.
No, got your dragon coming up, huh?
Yeah. Oh, come on. You would expect that he would just kick that door and not door, they're just like wooden
Just
parts
boards.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just boards you would expect them to just break. I love realistic games. But this is not one of them. See, this is new. At least I don't remember in the previous Doom games that he's able to return certain bullets. I don't know if it's because his shield is special.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that makes sense. It's green like a shield.
I don't know if it's just me, but this opponent doesn't seem very creative, you know, very unique. Yeah, now I wonder because he's applying the same strategy with the former boss and with this one. I wonder if that will be the same strategy throughout the whole game, that you're just returning those green bullets back to the boss. Okay. This is what I've been waiting for. Man, as if it's not enough that you're riding a dragon, but like you have a fully equipped dragon that you can even like,
Well, that's cool.
yeah, you can like kill someone. You have this advanced weaponry. That's like a machine gun, right?
Yeah. So it's like its wing. It's the whole flight is mechanical, so it makes me wonder if like it's not a dragon per se. It's some creature they captured and turned into their dragon. Because the other dragons had like natural wings. That's dragon there.
Yeah, maybe it's altered. Maybe it's like maybe it is fully dragon, but then it was biologically and mechanically advanced and enhanced. You know,
Yeah.
like for example in Mortal Kombat, Jax's arms, right? He's fully human, but his arms are not regular human
Right.
arms.
Yep.
This could be unpopular opinion, but I don't think this game is much better than Avalon, even though this game is coming from one of the wealthiest game studios. I think if Avalon would work a little bit on patching the game and introducing some more interesting, creative, more powerful bosses and opponents like Doom has, Avalon would be like one of the top games in years to come. It would easily go above Doom, even though they're not the same genre games. But I'm just saying, if they pay a little bit more attention to things like that, like in Doom, like you have enemy every 2 seconds. I'm not saying I like that either. There's no balance. Both of these games are extremely their own. Like Avalon lacks opponents. Here you can breathe. You can play 5 seconds without killing someone.
Yeah, I just feel like this game had a missed opportunity to get a different audience also on board. Like, if they would have leaned, like, this is just another Doom game, right? Like, if you took his shield away, I wouldn't even say this is Dark Ages. This looks just like the last Doom game we reviewed. So if they would have took that opportunity and made, like, even if you didn't want to give him a sword, because Doom's a shooter, right? But if you gave him, like, a repeating crossbow or something that was based in, medieval fantasy, but, Doom style.
Yeah, I think their main I don't want to say weapon, but their main ace when playing these cards, like competing with other gaming studio, would be like, hey, you can ride the dragon. Yeah, you can, but it's not necessarily what you would imagine to be. And like you said, those Dark Ages, again, they may not be what you think Dark Ages look like. Like, yeah, I would expect a little bit more different. I like those huge statues. Um, the whole ambient is very like doesn't even allow you much to enjoy and explore because you're always like jumping and shooting. It's not a bad game. I would play it. I would play both of them. But yeah, like you said, in order for the gaming studio to attract more people who never played Doom, newer generation, this is the first game that they're playing. They'll be like, oh, cool, dragons, stuff like that, but the game so far doesn't seem to have that depth, that substance. Like, it's like barbecuing your enemies, and unfortunately uses the same strategy with those green bullets, which sucks.
Yeah, I just feel like we're playing a DLC.
Oh yeah, based on the previous Doom Eternal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it seems like every new Doom game is just like, cool metal music that, impacts your adrenaline, you want to jump the fight. Like the way you kill enemies is like in Mortal Kombat and fatalities. Sometimes like, ooh, cool, plus more than that. It seems like more makeup, so to speak. More like, it's not necessarily quality. Sometimes it's merely quantity, so they can keep producing games, make money, and keep their brand alive. That's what I feel. For example, this is a cool one. This enemy I like, for example.
Yeah, he's unique, and the other guy, the big guy that had the gun on his hand. I agree. But if you would have put this in a different context, I think it would have just, I don't know. I guess they're capitalizing on what they know works rather than just trying to reinvent the wheel. And that makes sense as a business model, There's definitely a following for Doom. So
yeah, do you remember when we covered Wild West? So, for example, that opponent or this shotgun seemed like they would be more appropriate to the setting of that sci-fi Western video game, like with opponents like that, weapons like that. So, for example, also Wild West, that video game, they can learn, for example, in this aspect from Doom. All of these games can learn and be better. I'm not trying to be nitpicky. I'm just saying that, you know, I mean, I was just reading recently statistics, and it's very negative that less and less people are gaming, and that they say the reason number one is because there are less and less quality games. It doesn't mean there are no visually beautiful games. That doesn't mean there are no long games. It doesn't mean there are no challenging games. It means that games are not like they used to be before. Like 10, 15 years ago, when like the golden era, the golden ages of video games. Because sometimes within a year you get like 5 mega hits, and still to this day, even though they're like their graphics is obsolete, but still you're like, man, that was a good game. You know, new games don't seem to have that. They're just like, your DLCs, your side quests, use like bigger guns, go play, enjoy. If you're a teenager, if you're a young adult, you don't have much time, or maybe you don't want to think too much, you just want action. Yeah, maybe that works. But as you're maturing and growing older, and you've already seen a lot of these things, you're like, like I want something different, you know. So I'm not trying to be negative or too critical. I'm just saying what other people are saying online, that number of people gaming and the number of quality games coming out is way less than before. And thank God for those indie studios, because many times they make better games than AAA studios.
I think it's because the indie games are still trying to tell a story through a game, and these big game companies are trying to sell shareholders, so they just approach them differently. And obviously if the indie companies had the budget of these big games, there'd be no competition whatsoever. They're just it's a numbers battle.
Yeah, and these indie games, they seem to have that soul, so to speak. Not literally, but right, they have that identity, have passion. Like there's something about this game. Even when I'm done with it, not necessarily I will play again, but like, man, I won't forget that game for years to come. So, for example, in my case, I don't care whoever would make Witcher. It could be a small studio, it could be a big studio. I'm like, that's a perfect example of how video games should look like. But not many games are like that. Just to be honest. We didn't cover Oblivion remake, which came out recently. Maybe I should have included in the list. I didn't think about it, but people are saying all the good things about it. So that could be one of the rare examples in 2025. But like, not many games are like that, and many times we're waiting, anticipating. But it also happens with movies. If you notice, in the last several years, like okay, now new Superman comes out this weekend. I already heard bad reviews. I heard good reviews, but like none of the reviews are like, oh, spectacular, you have to see it. Some people say enjoyed, some people like I didn't enjoy it. But none of them will say, oh, it's 10 out of 10. Like even with movies, like in remakes and not just video games, something is lacking. And I think people, authors of all kinds of sorts, sometimes they're pressed by deadlines and pressed by their own bosses to create content because they need money, and they can publish unfinished products, and then people are unhappy. Like, dude, why didn't you wait a few more months to make it made better? And I'm not just even talking about patching the games where it's like having bugs and lacking. I'm just saying when it comes to the content, like couldn't you pay a little bit more attention and make this move smoother, or maybe bigger choice of NPCs, or maybe weapons. I don't know.
100% agree. In a game like Doom, it amazes me that they put so much detail in the environment, because you can't see it. You don't ever get to see it. Even with, like, like even in this scene, for instance, you got so much stuff coming at you all the time that you couldn't see what those buildings look like. I guess you could now after you kill everything, but
You know, if I was 19, 20, 21, I would be like, man, this is a heck of a game. I would be so impressed. My mid 40s, I'm like, this game, I'm not sure it deserves to last for long in the memory of players or even servers to be full. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I just like, you know, I don't see,
well,
everything is fine, and you can't like find a huge red flag, yet there's nothing that really attracts me, like, oh, I have to get the game today, I want to play it. There's nothing in me when I'm seeing that like makes me, you know, feel like that.
right, there's nothing new. And that's also it. Like, if this wasn't a been there, done that kind of game, this game would be like, wow, this is amazing. But because you've seen it done so many times by so many different studios, and then even Doom itself just kind of regurgitating the same game, it kind of loses that impressive, that impressive sell that you're looking for when you get a video game. Still, yeah, it's a beautifully done game. It's Doom, I'm sure it works perfect. I'm sure there's no bugs. But again, it's not what I hoped for. I was like, man, finally a Doom game that you could just dungeon crawl and hack and slash through, and that's not what it was.
Yes. When they say Dark Ages, you're like expecting medieval stuff. You know, of course, still it will be Doom, but you would expect a little bit also more like blade, not just fire weapons. You would expect some special armor. You would expect maybe even I don't know, to see horses and more castles and fortresses. But
Yeah.
this still seems like another destroyed or deserted alien planet.
Yeah.
It's very dark. Everything is in flames. Everything is burning, and everything's so hectic. It's like it's not bad. It's just like one of those deja vu games. Like, oh, I've seen this before. Maybe I'll skip it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just it. So, like, let's say I have $60 to spend on gaming this month or something. Am I going to buy just a rehash of a game, or am I going to try something different? And then I would definitely try something different.
Oh my gosh! And not to mention, for the price of one AAA game, you can buy few indie games.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And in most cases, you get more playtime out of them.
Okay, I think we can be done for now. There are 4 more hours left until this guy ended his gameplay and finished the game. I don't want to reveal too much. Okay, for example, this is nice. That statue of a knight, but it didn't last for too long. You know, I'm hoping there will be some huge creature coming out. That's why I didn't close the gaming video. I was just hoping something to come out of, from the waters. Okay, so he has to find his way out. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'll stop here. Okay, PJ, what is your overall grade, and what did you like and dislike?
This is going to sound harsh, but I would give it a 4. And only everything Doom does, it does well. It just keeps doing the same thing. That's all. I wouldn't play it because I'm terrible at all of them. But I would watch somebody play. But I don't think I would watch somebody play this after having watched somebody play Doom Eternal. So it's kind of lost it lost all its oomph that it could have had to me. And again, I'm biased, and I was just looking for some medieval throwing back in Doom, like the original Doom, where you're just stuck in this little dungeon-like maze and just throw hordes of people, but give them a sword and a shield and let them wreck shop. That's what I was looking for. And we got sci-fi demon planet with a shield.
Yeah, would you agree that Doom Eternal was kind of better?
Doom Eternal was fantastic. Like the soundtrack was amazing. You kind of knew.
Oh yeah, that guy, I forgot his name. The guy with a heavy metal. Oh my gosh! I even sometimes I still listen to his songs. I'm like, they're like amazing.
Yeah, Doom Eternal was good. I enjoyed when we reviewed it. It had me. And again, I guess not that this game was bad by any means. It just wasn't what I hoped it was, and it's still a good game, still a Doom game, So I wouldn't discourage somebody from playing it if that's their thing. It's just not something that would interest me at the moment.
Yeah, I'm googling how much is the game. $70, but there are also premium and collector's bundle editions available, priced at $100 and $200 respectively, according to Newsweek. $200 for this?
Is this another 4-hour game?
I don't know.
There's no way I'm paying $70 for that.
Collector's bundle editions, but listen, even if it is, regardless of all those editions, no game goes from $70 to $200. $200 for this? Okay, the next game that we'll be covering is Elden Ring, Nightreign, and it's another game that got great reviews. So again, let's spend 20 to 30 minutes dissecting it. I like that now you can either lead 2 players or maybe you can play co-op, because it's way more fun with 2 people, going after the boss.
Is that a second player, or is that a NPC that's in your party?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question, but I still like it because it feels more like, it's like the fight of your life, the battle of your life. Like you're not alone. So you can either lead someone, or even if it's NPC joining you for a battle or 2, feels kind of, someone has your back. And as always, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the video. Whenever we cover other people's gaming videos, please subscribe to their videos. Support the original gamers who are buying games and who are, this is their life, this is their job. They have to play and finish games and upload, all the gameplay videos.
Absolutely.
So with this expansion of the original game, I can already tell this will be a big hit, because Elden Ring takes their fans seriously and takes their content seriously. Okay, it says that this is a standalone game, not a DLC. It's a separate new adventure within the Elden Ring universe. Yeah.
So this is getting a live action movie or a live action show?
Man, I remember hearing about this a few weeks ago.
I think it's a movie.
But yeah, I forgot. And I was so excited when I heard that. I'm like, yeah, finally. But imagine if they would do something similar with the Warhammer. Warhammer, if you think that Star Wars, Star Trek, Witcher, if they all deserve their own TV shows and have huge, like
Fan
universe,
base. Yeah.
so to speak, imagine Warhammer. You can probably make content in the next 100 years for Warhammer and still not be done with it.
Yeah, yeah, and I didn't hate the movie. Done pretty well.
Imagine getting a potion to slay a plant.
I was just thinking that it was just in the plant's harder to kill than a big giant statue.
Yeah, I can have the plant. Yeah.
I block pollen. I mean, that's kind of like Zyrtec, right? So you do that anyway.
Man, check out his sword. Like, how come Doom doesn't have this? Ugh.
Even the way he looks like he struggles to swing it is beautifully done. Like, he doesn't have a trouble, but like there's that slight pause with everything he does to just show that thing weighs a lot.
That was a nice combo hit. And these are banished knights, so they're not just your regular opponent. Look how cool they look like.
They look phenomenal. The art, art director, whatever, of this project is just.
Oh,
he
yeah.
did this. This is exactly what you want a medieval fantasy kind of game to look like.
And look the shield. It's like it's almost bigger than our hero's whole body.
Yeah, it's like a Pavis shield meets like a kite shield.
Yeah. Yeah, kite shields are small.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is a version of Care Bears, but it's called Gladius.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Because he's got a sword stuck in him. Oh, is he separated? But yeah.
You know, games like this can almost like awaken people's love towards mythology.
Yeah, because I was just correlating like the underworld and Hades and all that, because you have burning banners everywhere, or at least they look like fire. He's the beast of the night instead of guarding the gates of hell, of the underworld, Hades. Is that what Cerebus guarded, right? what is the blue swords that keep popping up around him? Is that like an offensive thing that he can spend when they pop up, or is it like a shield of swords kind of thing?
Yeah, I don't know if that's automatically activated or he has to use some kind of scroll or magic that will be defensive and going well defensive as long as it's behind his back, but then it seems to go towards the enemies and would be in attack mode. But again, as I didn't play the game just like you didn't, I would just think that that's something he's summoning. But I don't know if it's automatic or you know how in many RPG games you can put in those open slots, you can put which magic or potion or ability you prefer, and by pressing certain buttons, and you can activate them. But some of these are automatic, so they will like restore itself and show automatically. I don't know if this is automatic or he has to press and activate. But first, it shows like I'm behind you, those three swords, and they go to attack mode, but they don't seem to be extremely efficient because, after all, those bosses are huge.
Yeah.
I like this with caves, with like mines. I'm not a big traveler, but if people would ask me, "Hey, you want to go see this mysterious place underground, caves and stuff like that?" I'm like, "Man, totally. I would go."
I would go if it looks like this, but like when you see them going like splunking and like they're crawling through these type spaces and stuff, nope, I'm done. I'm not getting stuck in there.
But see, here's another spiritual connotation, and I don't know how much we can use the Bible, but I noticed in this game and in the first game with Avalon, some opponents are spirits, right? And your weapon, most of the time in all these games, is merely physical. So how does a physical weapon manage to hurt and repel and kill a spiritual opponent? So it's like, would your weapon have to be specially anointed, specially blacksmithed, have to be, blessed, have to be whatever? Because it's not just like I can take a regular spear or sword and kill a phantom or a ghost or a demon. You just can't.
Right.
So that's why I'm thinking like both in Avalon and in this game, how is that able? How is it possible? Because yes, I'm trying to be logical, even though it's a game, but still that doesn't mean everything is illogical. So how is that working? I'm just curious. Do you have something similar like in your board games?
So, sort of. We have damage types, right? So like, yeah, I guess it kind of actually even works the same way. Where if you had like a spiritual being, they have immunities to certain things, to certain weapons and damage. They have resistant to certain damage, and then they're vulnerable to certain damage. So in my game, like anything spiritual or demonic is vulnerable to righteous damage, but like they're, any kind of spiritual damage outside of righteous, they're actually resistant to. And then depending on the being, like they might be immune to bludgeoning or sharp or slashing or piercing or anything like that. So it's kind of handled through damage types rather than the actual weapon.
Did you see that mega jump? Oh, he climbed on the cliff.
Up
That
the
was
cliff,
amazing.
it's crazy. And
And
is
look
this
at
a
the
giant
opponent.
root?
It's like a living tree with boils.
Yeah, that's insane. Like in my game, I have like plants, like sentient plants like this. But I never thought of using like a giant root. It's just underground with. It's kind of like a lizard almost. It's gross.
It's gross, but it's beautiful because I've noticed this before. The designers of this game, they're super creative, super creative.
But see, he's even classified as a tree spirit.
Yeah.
But he clearly looks like a flesh and blood opponent, you know.
He's called, or it is called, ulcerated tree spirit. So he has ulcers.
I would also agree.
Okay, we'll be dealing with the dragon, the real dragon, not that poor imitation in Doom.
I think something I don't really like that I've seen with all of these creatures, or at least these big bosses, is like he does this epic move that looks like it's a finisher move, and it just does like this astonishing, like you think the thing's dead, but no.
Yeah, I
it's like
thought
the-
it was, and until I saw the energy, I'm like, no, this is just the battle beginning.
Yeah, it's just started, right? I wish they would maybe get some kind of mechanic where that move can only be done like on the end, and it looks like a finishing move. That would be awesome. I mean, I'm not trying to complain. Like that's phenomenal. It's just that
Man,
I've
I
noticed
like
every
how
boss
everything gets hot and orange. It's like so real.
around where the heat source is. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh my gosh, he died. You know what I also notice in most movies, TV shows, and games? Whenever you're facing a huge opponent like a giant or a dragon, usually the best, or sometimes even the only way to kill them would be to somehow manage to jump over their back and spine, come behind their head, and then to like just slay it with your huge sword. And that's how that will be their weak spot. Otherwise, how do you kill a giant when you're so small, or a dragon? Because they have scales, they have armor.
Yeah.
What can you do? Nothing.
So I noticed when he restarted, it said level lost. So do you get penalized? Like, do you actually lose like a level when you die? Like I remember old school Dungeons and Dragons when you died. I think it was Dungeons and Dragons. You lost a level like that. If you were revived, you had to revert back to the previous level.
Yeah, that's a good question. Again, I don't know, but that would also suck if you keep dying. Like, doesn't mean you lose 10 levels if you die 10 times, because then, dude, you're not prepared. You have to go play 5 hours side quest and come back to this guy again.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe just all your previous experience to that level got lost. Maybe.
Ah, he miss him.
Yeah. Did you see that tree fall? I thought that was awesome. That even the environment's like interactable.
Yeah, I don't know if I covered the first Elden Ring with you or not, like a year and a half ago or so, maybe even two. But they also had another very awesome fight with a maybe even bigger dragon than this one.
Yeah. I don't think we covered. We could have, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, I think I covered with someone else.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a nice fight.
Man, it's such a beautiful game.
Yeah, I wish it's not another Souls game. I wish it's more like Witcher. I'm not a big fan of Souls games. They can be very difficult. You have to be very good in parrying and moving, avoiding. There are people who enjoy and excel in those things. I think for me, that will require so much time and energy that I don't always have. Sometimes you just want to have fun instead of like trying to kill an enemy 100 times.
That would have been me. All right, well,
I thought he would lose at least 1/3 of his energy, but no, he's good.
never seen anybody climb a hill with just their feet, other than a mountain goat. That was pretty good.
Oh, he actually escaped. I bet he'll be back, a little bit later when he's stronger. Look at that. And he's fighting another plant. Man, look at this weapon. It's like I don't even know where he's getting energy to lift it. Imagine you die because of the plant.
I love it. I love it so much. Like I literally have legit plants like this in my game. And so, are there different classes? I take it because I've seen 3 different builds, like physical builds.
Well, I think these are just skins, right? That he advances and finds out throughout his quest. Like, I think that's the same class that he's been playing. Just looks different because of the armor. Oh my gosh! Look at that's 2 of those huge weapons. How is he carrying them? He will need a horse for this. Staff of the Avatar. That's cool. That was a type of a gargoyle. Yeah, I have to fast forward because there's so many amazing fights in this game, and it's like you can't spend too much time just on one fight because then you'll miss
That's the
on
red
something
part
very
there.
cool.
That would be what I want to wield right there. No, already went out.
See, that's the same thing. I thought he died the way he fell, but no, he's not. That's the same thing you mentioned when he was fighting Dragon. Man, this is also the same enemy at the beginning of the first Elden Ring.
Oh, that looks freaking amazing.
Yes, and at the beginning of the first game, you face this opponent, and you just started the game like 10 minutes ago. You're not prepared. You can avoid him or fight him, and it's not easy to kill him because again, you're way more inferior than look at how he looks like, almost like a battle tank. Yeah, I think we can stop here, and then we have one more game. What are your concluding thoughts for Elden Ring Nightreign?
Visually, 10 out of 10 for sure. Phenomenal looking game. I don't know how it plays. I've never played any of them. Definitely looks like it's a fun game. I am also on the rogue games are very hard for me to play as well. I'm not terrible at it, but I find like I don't really enjoy the play style as much because it takes so much concentration for me to get anywhere. It's not like Witcher where I could literally just sit there for 3 minutes if I need to and try to figure something out. But yeah, visually it looks phenomenal. And they're doing something right, to get your own show and such a following. You got to be doing something right.
Yeah, I would say based on what we saw, that this game is easily 8, 8.5, maybe even 9 out of 10. I don't think I can give it 9 or more because this is simply not the subgenre of fantasy games that I enjoy. But looks very creative. It looks beautiful. It looks very entertaining. It looks, everything from graphics to the type of combat fights, combo skills, type of enemies, the world building, the music, the atmosphere, everything seems like top class. I'm just not a big fan again of that type of fighting, especially those boss fights. It's not necessarily my thing. Okay, let me just close this. And the last one is Lies of P, and this is actually a DLC. So let's spend 20-25 minutes covering this game. Ooh, I love this.
Such a creative creature. And the way it attacks is insane.
I'll just say one thing. I'm glad this is not an enemy in Resident Evil where you're like stuck in a basement or a room and there's no way out until you kill it. My hope is that this would not be another Souls like game, like Elden Ring, Souls franchise. I'm not saying these are bad games, but I just wish for something new, something different. But this game, I'm having good feeling about it. I think it's not another copy paste game. I think it's kind of its own. Yes, of course, it has to be inspired by work of previous games, and it has that type of fonts and symbols and graphics that reminds you of many Souls games that came before it. But I'm feeling so far that it's a little bit different kind of game on its own. Like they're not trying to be, just like another clone. They're trying to be a little bit on their own,
Unique,
like
their own thing. Yeah. Visually, this looks phenomenal too. And I kind of like that I don't know what this game is, but I get like, I guess, French Renaissance vibes from it.
It may be too early to say, but this could be my favorite games out of these 4 so far. But I'll make the decision in 20 minutes.
No, I'm right there with you. And I wonder if his Flamberger, if he has to refill that or if it just fills up by itself.
check out the classical music that is different compared to other fantasy games.
I can't really hear the music.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not creepy.
Nice. Yeah, I like that the game is not completely dark like Doom and Avalon for the most part were like very gloomy dark games, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What is this, like a crack on steroids?
Yeah, dude, if I find something like that in my yard, it's amazing.
Man, that fire is barely hurting him. Oh yeah, sword is much more effective. See, I wish when he's facing enemies like this that you have some long-range weapon.
Yeah, and I guess it's just his flamethrower. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I think he does more damage when it's engulfed, when it's molten. I think that's the key to it.
Ooh. And this level is beautiful.
Dude, the whole game, man, at least that we've seen, is just... And I love this setting. You don't see this. Like, you don't ever see, I don't know, like this blend of fantasy and contemporary kind of...
Like almost like cyberpunk or something. I don't know. Uh-oh. Man, this is like a shrine to like a demon or a god or a goddess.
All the same things. Interesting.
Uh-oh.
Is it wax or is it...
I don't think it's wax. It's like whatever that is.
It just looked really thick to be blood. Like,
Yeah, it didn't. I was just about thinking the same. I'm like, that doesn't look like real blood.
clearly that's somebody special to her. Dude, such an awesome mask.
That bastard.
Or helmet.
I'll kill
Half
him.
helmet.
Oh, I thought one of those creatures will like resurrect or whatever, come to
Oh.
life again.
Is that a flashback or something? Oh. Is that arm an amputee? Is that. Or flamethrowers?
Yeah, I don't know.
This can't be. Are all those humans? Just how evil does someone have to be to do something like this?
Yeah, human parts.
Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be blood.
See, this is another mechanical opponent.
Yeah, and it's like a jester.
Sounds like Hulk smash.
Dude, all the monsters are just so creative. Like nothing, like everything's just kind of like over the top weird in their own little way, but very creative.
Ooh.
And that's also a machine, right?
Yeah. I have to admit, I always hated reading long notes and letters or emails in video games.
Goodness.
But sometimes you have to because the key password or name would be hidden there.
Yeah, it depends on the game. I think I think a game like this, I would enjoy reading that stuff. But like Resident Evil and stuff where it doesn't really matter, I don't like reading them.
Oh my god. Like imagine a type of a shield that you would need against that. Like I can't imagine any shield that would be good enough.
Nope.
Looking
someone think I tried to kill her. The legend herself. Twice. What an idiot I am. Good thing I failed. Failed twice. I never could. I wanted to, but no, I'm sorry. A stalker. Gone. But still, she went deeper into the laboratory.
Ooh, now he has to follow.
It has to be for a cure. How else could they justify such horrifying deeds? Oh, I want to forget what we saw, but I can't.
Yeah, dude, this game it is fantasy, but it's also like steampunk, cyberpunk, whatever.
That's kind of what I was. That's what I was thinking. Steampunk. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. That's maybe not quite there, but it's definitely closer to that than. But just phenomenal. I love the setting.
I think our test subject is behind that door. Where else could it be? Nerves of steel, buddy.
I wouldn't be excited opening that door.
Not after hearing that.
I'm like, how big is that thing? Oh my god.
Go ahead and just close it back. My bad, man. Wrong room.
See, if you're not good with avoiding hits, if a boss like that hits you with a weapon big like that, you can lose 2/3 of the energy if you're just unlucky and just miss it even for a bit.
I mean, clearly you want to hit the X, but I don't understand the mechanism or the targeting or what it's actually trying to convey.
I wondered now that he's red, it doesn't mean he's more angrier, like he's more upset with you. Look at him. He
Yeah,
can't stop.
that's his other face.
So as much as yellow was scary, that was his mild mode.
Yeah. Dr. Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah. Oh my.
Oh my gosh.
Knocking the floor with you.
But like visually, that should have been like, you should have died. You were literally impaled and drug across the floor. You just like snapped your fingers and I'm back.
It's going back to yellow. So hopefully it's less dramatic. Ooh. Ooh, nice.
Okay, I just realized you have a damage stacking bonus. That's why when they get hit, I thought they were displaying how much health the opponent had left, but the more she hits, the higher that number is going. So I think once she misses a hit or two, then the damage stops, the multiplier stops.
The question: have you noticed that our main character has no shield, no armor, no even special, um, like thicker uniform or clothes? It's just like a cloak, boots, pants. Yet it's able to resist and survive when it was just when that big enemy was mopping the floor with our hero. So I'm just wondering, what did we miss in the meantime? Where was our hero like advancing in skills to like become resistant and more powerful? Because if you just look merely just physically, it doesn't look like it can survive any longer combat than 10 seconds. Once it's hit, you would think like the hero will die, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Um, it's got it. I mean, obviously they have to be leveling the somehow. I mean, they haven't got any new weapons. She's using the same. I think it's a she. Is using the same sword.
Anguish, Guardian of the Ruins. Okay, so yeah, they have this combo of like a similar style of play and enemies, bosses like Elden Ring and so many other Souls games. Yeah, they have those steampunk elements. It's almost like you're getting two games in one.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's just like an amalgamation of body parts stuck together.
Yeah, I'm noticing one thing I don't like, that the time between bosses is very short. You know, it's not like an hour or two, you're going to another realm, another level. It's like the whole game. Well, I mean, it's only DLC, it's 4.5. So already within 30, 40 minutes, we bumped into two big bosses. It's like, do you have enough even time to explore and become more powerful to be dealing with another boss? I mean, obviously you do, otherwise you wouldn't be able to finish the game, but I would expect to have more stuff in the meantime to do.
Yeah. So I forgot what these are called. But these technically aren't RPGs. They're something else. But like you're just running through the story. You're getting your save point and continuing, right? So there's no quest lines. There's nothing for you to develop. It's just a railroad that you're going from point A to point B. So the only thing they have to give you is these bosses that aren't just common enemies
Yeah,
to fight.
and that's the thing that I don't like. If it's just bosses,
I agree.
I'm like,
I agree. It's not necessarily my style of game. I mean, I'd probably play it, but this isn't something I would like. I guess long to play. Visually, it looks awesome. Combat looks awesome, but
Oh,
it's got that repetitiveness that kind of like burns me out on them.
Yeah, see, with Witcher, it was a long game, and of course you had million bosses and mini bosses, but in the meantime you're just dealing with regular monsters and spirits, and you had time to advance, to explore, to talk to people, to ride your horse, to see what's happening out there, like different parts of that huge map. So that's what I like when it's balanced. Like, you know, like in
Yeah.
Avalon, you could barely see any opponent. Here, like boss comes every 30 minutes. Like you can't even give it a break and enjoy a little bit the atmosphere and the world building. I don't know.
Hey, buddy, see that over there? We found it. The Rose Estate. Leia should be nearby.
You must be part crow. You certainly hoard everything you come across. This is the key I lost a while ago.
Yeah, this is cool. Like in the beginning of the new Elden Ring, there was another character helping you. That's cool. Okay, so there's only 30 minutes left when our main character gets in this mansion. So I think I'll stop soon because I don't want to spoil it for people watching this.
Notice she's wearing armor now, though.
And they pay attention to every detail.
Oh, a leather coat.
Yeah, half of the armor. Yeah. Okay, I'll stop here. Just two quick questions, and this will be our concluding thoughts. What do you think about game? And if you want to rank all the four games, I already have in my mind, how I'm ranking all the games according to my taste.
Okay. Visually, I love the game. I'm a visual person, so like I enjoy when people put the effort into the details and into it looking good, into over the top kind of maneuvers and abilities. Like it shows you care about what you're doing and you're not just trying to get something out there and make a profit, right? Um, I would probably play this game, but I don't know if I would necessarily stay playing this game through. I think I would get burned out just because it's the same repetitive stuff over and over. I guess if I would have to place these in order, um, I think I'm gonna put the Tainted Grail at number one. Um, I think out of all the games, I think I would probably play that one more than anything, just because it seemed like it had more character development that was kind of your own choosing rather than like a railroad story. Um, then it would probably be Lies of P, and then Elden Ring, and then Doom.
Yeah, for me, Doom for sure is the last one, fourth game, which does not mean it's bad. I mean, if we had covered 20 games, that doesn't mean Doom would be 20th. But on this list is fourth. Now the trouble comes with the first three games, especially this one and Elden Ring, because they're so similar in their approach. Both are visually beautiful, but both are very similar with bosses and style of fight. It's like slash and then parry and just try to dodge and then attack again. I mean, most RPG games are like that, including Diablo, but here it's like such an emphasis on that. That, like you said, it's repetitive, and I'm not the type of a gamer that will bring me joy. Especially not in the long run. If I have to do this every 30 minutes, no. Avalon is probably the first game I would play, but that doesn't mean in my taste it's the best game. It just the way it's the gameplay is done. would suit me more. It's more relaxed. So, but that doesn't mean it's number one. I think that this game is better than Avalon in almost every aspect. So if I have to make a list, Doom will be last. And in the first three parts, it will be very hard because am I judging the atmosphere? Am I judging the music? Am I judging graphics? Then, Elden Ring and Lies of P are going 1 and 2. But if I'm deciding like what would also relax me, the soundtrack, what will I enjoy, what would motivate me, what will like, oh my gosh, like it's like I can imagine myself and like I have no anxiety. I'm just going this in this beautiful, you know, world setting, world building, and it's like all that greenery and nature. Then in that context, I would choose Avalon first. But that game needs, at least in my taste, in my opinion, it needs a lot of polishing and fixing. So hopefully within 6 months, if they release a big patch or a series of smaller patches, then yeah, it can be like, wow, I really want to play this game. So that's why it's hard for me. If I'm just deciding what I would play rather, I would put Avalon first. But if I would put like what is the overall, like a final product better game, I would say Lies of P, and even Elden Ring seems more polished and more finished products. Now, if someone would say, well, since these two games are very similar, which one would you choose, Lies of P or Elden Ring? I think I would go with Lies of P. I think, and mind you, this is only DLC. There's a original game which is longer. I think I will go with Lies of P rather than with Elden Ring. I did try the original Elden Ring. I didn't advance too much. I wasn't even motivated to play that long because of that style of play with it, you have to put so much effort and be careful. And I'm like having podcast full-time job. I'm reading books. I can't just put that much effort, like to like dodge every hit, do every side quest. If I would be younger, maybe. So yeah, that would be my list. But yeah, again, Doom was the biggest disappointment.
And not to say that's a bad game, like you're saying. It's a beautiful game. It's just been there, done that.
Yeah. All except Avalon, all three games seem very deja vu and copy pasted because they're all sequels of the previous parts. And I'm not expecting developers to, so to speak, invent the wheel. I'm not expecting something completely new because, like look, for example, Serious Sam, which has been a popular franchise for the last 25 or so years. It's a mindless game. You're just shooting and running. You don't need to think. Yet it will be still popular among people. They're like, hey, just give me some action. So I'm not saying that repetition is necessarily bad, but if you have competition and they're doing the same, and another competition, they're doing the same, and you're doing something that, if not the same but similar, then you're like, I don't know. It's getting stale. It's getting boring. Like imagine eating the same food every day. Imagine wearing the same shoes for years.
Absolutely.
Imagine talking about the same topics for years. It's like you want something fresh and new. So yeah, these were the 4 games. We of course always support the original gamers and uploaders. So their videos will be, links to their videos will be posted in this video description. So subscribe to their channels. Thanks for listening. And again, this was pre-recorded and will be released sometime, probably either late July or early August. PJ, thank you so much for your time. Sorry for keeping you late. It's 11 p.m. on Wednesday evening. So kudos to PJ, who has to go to work tomorrow. Me too, but at least tomorrow I'm not working morning shift, so I'm okay. PJ, God bless you. Thank you so much for your time. And yeah, see you next time in another gaming discussion.
Can't wait. Appreciate it.